I know I've digressed a wee bit this last week or so in relation to the bleep test, and I've talked a wee bit more about fat loss, but my reasons for doing that are pretty simple. A lot of people that struggle with the bleep test are people who are carrying a bit too much weight, and it's not generally muscle they're carrying too much of, it tends to be more fat. So I just wanted to give people a bit of hints and tips in relation to trying to improve their bleep test, rather than just the various workouts and techniques they can do to improve. They can improve it by losing a bit of fat. Not weight, because if you just go and try and lose weight, you go on a massive calorie deficit, you're going to end up losing muscle as well, which is then going to hinder your performance. You want just to lose fat. So the best way to go about that is to get yourself in a kind of small calorie deficit of around about 100 to 200 calories, not too huge. To eat a high protein diet, so 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound body weight, and to do some strength training on top of your other stuff, so your body has a reason for holding on to your muscle. So then when it does get into that deficit, it does need a bit more energy. It's going to tap into that energy reserve, that stored fat, subcutaneous fat that you've got, maybe some visceral fat, and use that to try and obviously fuel your day-to-day moving about. Don't think of exercise as something you use to burn energy, to burn fat, because you actually, and don't believe everything that your smartwatch tells you or your phone tells you, you don't burn that many calories doing exercise. You're better trying to use the calorie kind of thing by eating less biscuits, chocolate, etc. That will save you a couple of 100 calories, rather than going and running for an hour and a half, which is going to kind of burn 200 calories. It's better use of your time to use exercise for the reasons you want to use it for, as in for maybe mental health or for body transformation, to get maybe more fitter cardiovascular wise, or to become stronger, to transform your body, as in to tone up, to get the more muscle definition, which will look better if you have that with a bit of a calorie deficit, as in you're eating less calories, because then the muscles, the fat will get burned, and the muscle that you're building will be on show more, because a lot of that subcutaneous, that fat's under your skin, will be melting away, disappearing, and you do that through diet rather than through exercise. So it's quite complicated. I'm going to do a post maybe later on today, or maybe tomorrow, or even in the next few days, and I'll show you some how I break down, how I work out what kind of calories you should be using to start with. It's nothing fancy. How I work out your protein for various body weights. I give you a few examples of what you try and do. I'm not one for changing your diet completely and saying cutting out various foods, because there's no good and bad foods. I want you to lose weight whilst you're eating and enjoying foods yourself. It's just about making smarter choices. It's just about sometimes quite often planning ahead. Like I said, tonight I know I'm going to be eating lots of pizza tonight, so I never had breakfast this morning. I've had my lunch as normal. It just means tonight I've got a few extra 100 calories I can use for a few extra bits of pizza. I'm not changing the amount I'm going to eat, I'm just spreading it at different times through the day. It's just a wee bit of plan ahead. It's not stopping yourself from eating certain foods. I'll probably have a couple of biscuits as well. Some maybe even set myself just a wee bit above. And again, that's when I do work out calories for people, I don't say you must stick to, say, 1800 calories a day. It's an in-between. You must stick to between, say, 1700, 1900 calories, or 1600 and 2000 calories. It's a window you try and stick in round about. Some days you hit a wee bit lower, some days you hit a wee bit higher, so then it averages out over the course of the week. And then by the course of the week you're eating less calories than what your maintenance level would be, so you're in a calorie deficit, you're doing that strength training, you're moving about more through the day, you're standing up at work, you're using the steps, you're walking a bit more, so you're kind of, your basic, or your basal metabolic rate, so the calories used just to survive, are increasing, as well as you're less insulin. It just becomes a maths equation. Anyway, probably a longer post than I wanted to do. I'm actually, I just thought I'd kind of make that point. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from and what that explains. If you have any questions about how weight loss, how fat loss can improve your bleep test, please comment, DM, etc. as well. Anyway, have a good rest of the weekend. Take care.